Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Augustus, and I'm back again with another episode of Tsukihime. When we last left off, we had a nice, lovely, and not in any way upsetting conversation with our sister, who we have not seen in 8 years, as she keeps liking to remind us. In this episode, we have to make the question of, will we finally get to meet the heroine of the route? Probably not, but we will probably get points with her even without meeting her. And I am still quite tipsy, so I apologize for the inevitable amount of mistakes that I am going to make while reading this. But I really want to record, so we're going with it. Dinner takes place, and Akiha and I being face to face. I guess it's natural here, as Hisui and Kohaku-san do not eat with us, standing behind us to tend to our needs. It always strikes me as a bit weird that he never referred to Hisui as Hisui-san or anything like that, but he always refers to Kohaku as Kohaku-san in every single route. This goes through the entire game, and I'm not quite sure why. I don't know if it's just the way honorifics work with servants or whatnot, but I don't know, I just thought it was kind of strange. I thought it would be natural if all four of us ate together, so you could say I am caught off guard by this inexplicably tense dinner. I should mention at this point that I've totally forgotten anything related to table manners by now. Yes, he is just shoveling food into his mouth with his fingers and using the tablecloth as a napkin. Well, I do remember little pieces, so it's not like I'm a complete amateur, but humans tend to pack away unused memories into the corner of their minds. The tension is actually quite thrilling, with every one of my movements causing Akiha to raise an eyebrow. When I think about how I'll have to go through this every day, though, it's really depressing. Finishing dinner, I return to my room. It's still only just past 8 at night. It's too early to sleep, so what should I do? We can go to the sitting room and talk with Akiha, who I'm sure is going to scold us. We can stay in our own room and die of boredom, or we can go watch TV in Best Girl's room. And we're going to do that. We're going to go watch TV in Kohaku-san's room, which is also the only choice there that doesn't give us points, shockingly enough. Let's see. Kohaku-san's room is here, isn't it? Knock, knock. I knock on her door. Kohaku-san, are you there? Yes, please hold on for a minute. I can hear her cheerful voice from inside the room. I wait for about 3 minutes. Kohaku-san opens the door and pokes her head out. Oh, it's you, Shiki-sama. What are you doing here at this time? Well, I was wondering if you'd let me watch your TV. Eh? Kohaku-san gives me a bewildered look. Well, there's no TV in this house, is there? I've been living in a normal house up until now, so it's become a daily routine for me to watch TV after dinner. I guess I can't calm down without watching it or something like that, so the more I say, the more I realize I'm doing something stupid. There is something not right about barging into a lady's room demanding to watch her TV. Look, even Kohaku-san is just standing there, looking bewildered. Wait, no, she's not. I guess you're right. You've been living at the Arima household up until yesterday, after all. You must think this mansion to be kind of depressing after moving here all of a sudden. Kohaku-san gives a cheerful laugh. Let's see, have you talked to Akiha and Chen, or Akiha-sama and Hisui-chen about this yet? You mean coming to your room, Kohaku-san? Kohaku-san nods. No, I haven't talked to anyone about it. What about it? No, it's nothing. It's just that I would have to turn you away if you had already talked to them about it. Well, technically, we did talk to Hisui about it, because we asked her and she mentioned it, but I don't think she'd care. Smiling when she speaks, Kohaku-san looks up and down the hallway. Luckily for us, there isn't anyone around. Please hurry up and come in. It'll be troublesome if you were caught. Please, just sit anywhere. I'll go make some tea. coughing to clear my throat, I take a seat. There are all sorts of little things in Kohaku-san's room. It might be thought of as a bit messy for a girl's room. There aren't many things you could call cute, and what she does have is a lot of things that don't look very useful. Rather, it has an atmosphere of a room belonging to an orderly, scholarly person. Buried in the miscellaneous objects, I find the TV. Interestingly, the fandom has kind of made her a hikikomori. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I don't remember. Obsessed with games and anime and stuff like that because of the fact that she's the only one in the house that watches the TV and because of a lot of other things. But it's just kind of weird to me when it just seems more like she's a collector of weird and interesting knickknacks over video games and visual novels and hentai, I think, was one of the other big things that I always saw people mentioning about her, weirdly enough. On top of the table is the remote. Maybe Kohaku-san has been watching the TV until just now. Thanks for waiting. Tea is fine for you, isn't it, Shiki-sama? Ah, thank you. Please don't mind me too much. Oh no, not at all. I'm sorry I can't do much to treat you. Kohaku-san says so, smiling warmly. So, the TV. What do you watch around this time, Shiki-sama? I don't have any set programs in particular, but the news is a pretty basic one. I like to hear the new trends, and I like snob stories. Is that so? You seem like a very laid-back person, so I thought you'd be reading after dinner or something. Laid back and reading instead of watching TV doesn't strike me as something super laid back, but I don't know. No, I don't have such refined interests. I don't consider myself laid back either, but maybe that's the impression I give with my glasses. You wear glasses, Shiki-sama. Akiha didn't say anything about that at all, so I was quite surprised when I saw you at the door. You see, I haven't met Akiha since I started wearing these glasses, which is kind of depressing. These glasses are just for show. I guess you could say my eyes are bad, but I think my vision is better than that of most people. It's not because I studied too much and went nearsighted or anything. Crap. I had an intellectual image, but did that disappoint you? No, not at all. I enjoy watching TV more than reading too. I'm glad that you're an energetic person, just like I thought you were. Yeah, thanks. I'm a little embarrassed. Faced directly with Kohaku-san's carefree smile, I can't help but feel a little nervous. I'm sorry. You came to watch the news, didn't you? Kohaku-san switches the TV on. She never did mention what she watches. It's already 9 o'clock. The news, as it usually does, reports the day's events with a little exaggeration. Oh dear. Looks like there's been another one of those serial murders. Kohaku-san says to herself while sitting next to me, sounding not the least bit concerned. The news is running a special feature on the serial killings. The serial murders, which began in a neighboring town, are beginning to concentrate within this town. It's a pretty simple story. Late at night, he attacks young girls indiscriminately, and in the end, he drains their blood. It seems like last night's victim is the 9th one so far. Lots of assumptions with the he. I wonder what the police are doing about it. Who knows? It would seem pretty easy to catch a murderer who only comes out at night, but maybe he's really careful so they can't trace him. You could be right. The clues about murderers build up as they kill more people, so if they haven't caught him even after 9 murders, he must be really carefully prepared for the killings. Careful killer, huh? But aren't these killings spontaneous crimes? It's quite strange to think of them as being carefully prepared. You're right. If there's no evidence left at all, then maybe he's not a random killer at all. I can only think he's got it all planned out from the start for execution. I see. But then, what would be the point of killing those 9 girls? Are they friends of his? Acquaintances? Probably not. If there were connections like that, then I think the police would have realized it by now. In the end, I suppose it's an incomprehensible case without motive or connections. Or, they're not releasing it to the public and yada yada yada. I have listened to and read too much true crime stuff. Kohaku-san says all of this disturbing stuff with a smile. It seems like she's not really worried about this case, or she smiles because she's nervous or uncomfortable. People do that, like I laugh when I'm nervous, and I've made plenty of people angry with that. But that doesn't matter. These murders are happening right here in this town, Kohaku-san. You're a young girl and all, so aren't you even a little bit scared? I'll be fine, since the killer only appears late at night. If I don't go out at night, I won't run into him. Kohaku-san really is a clear thinker. That's a very, very apt description of her, actually. It is perhaps a bit of a raw explanation, but I suppose that's how a mere news story should be treated. Sorry for intruding on you. I'll be counting on you again the next time I feel like watching TV. Sure, I'll be waiting. Kohaku-san looks up and down the hallway. I'd like to escort you back to your room, but Hisui-chan is waiting for you there, so I'll have to say goodbye here. Okay, good night. I had no idea bedtime at this mansion was 10. That sounds horrible. Apparently, there is some kind of unwritten rule here that one is not allowed to be out of their room after 10, which sounds horrible. It's still so formal here, even with the old man gone. Well, I guess it's only natural. I'm also getting tired from my unfamiliarity with this mansion, so I obediently return to my room. When I return to the room, my bed has been made. Did Hisui do it while I was away? I'm glad she did, but it's really more than I deserve. I scratch my cheek. Then, are you there, Shiki-sama? I can hear Hisui's voice along with a knock at the door. Yeah, I'm here. Come in. Excuse me. Good evening. Thanks for making my bed, Hisui. Hisui quietly nods in acceptance. Just as I thought, I'm not used to this. Is there anything you want to tell me? No, nothing for me, but Akiha-sama has instructed me to answer any questions you may have. I see. There are many things I want to ask, but I'll probably get to know them as I continue to live here. Yeah. What I want to know right now before I sleep is it true the curfew here is 7? Yes. The main gate is locked at 7, and all the entrances to the mansion are to be locked at 8. It is also a rule that you must try not to go walking around the mansion after 10. Not even walking around in the mansion? Well, I've got no complaint with that, but isn't that kind of harsh? Akiha and I aren't children, so I don't think you have to go that far. Indeed. It is a rule, however, so please abide it. You are aware of the recent disturbances at night, are you not, Shiki-sama? Yeah, that vampire thing Arihiko was talking about, and you saw on the news. Well, as long as something like that is happening, I guess it's better to be safe than sorry. What else? Oh, if you don't mind, do you mind if I ask you an off-topic question? Yes, what is it? I'd like to know what kind of work you and Kohaku-san do around here. I am here to serve Shiki-sama's needs, and my sister Kohaku to serve Lady Akiha-sama. In our spare time, we do maintenance chores around the house. Is there anything more you would like to know? Serve. So that's what it is after all. My shoulders suddenly feel heavier. It seemed completely natural to Akiha when she said it, but I'm nothing more than a normal high school student. I have no interest in a girl around my own age serving me, at least not for now. By serving, you mean your personal servant. Yes, please do not hesitate to ask anything of me. Well, I get it. Going by how Akiha was talking about you, it doesn't seem like I can dismiss you, so I'll just obediently let you serve me. That sounds kind of condescending, but I don't know. Maybe I'm reading a bit too much into it, or, more translation errors. Japanese to English translation isn't perfect, especially since this was fan translated. Well, I shouldn't say especially, but this was a fan translation. It was very, very well done, in my opinion, but still, it's not the original language. Is there anything in particular you would like? Nothing in particular, but could you stop calling me Shiki-sama? To be honest, I get chills down my back when I hear it. But Shiki-sama, you are my master. That's what I'm saying I hate. I've been living a normal life up until yesterday. I have no desire to start living a life where a girl my age addresses me with Sama. I see. Hisui's response was less than enthusiastic. Just call me Shiki. In exchange, I'll call you Hisui. Let's do away with the formalities and be more casual with each other. Still expressionless, Hisui lowers her eyebrows as if she's being troubled. But you are my employer. It's not like I'm hiring you, and technically Shiki doesn't pay her shit. You're the one doing things that I can't, so you're the great one. I see. Hisui gives another unenthusiastic reply. It looks like I won't be able to talk her into just one day. Anyhow, that's how it is. Don't be so formal towards me. I'll be grateful if you tell your sister Kohaku-san that, too. Very well, as you say, Shiki-sama. I love that line so much. I love stuff like that. Expressionless, Hisui bows her head. She completely failed to understand. I will be leaving now. Please rest now for tonight. Bowing, Hisui puts her hand on the doorknob. Oh, I forgot to ask something. Hold on for a second. Running towards the door, I put my hand on Hisui's shoulder before she leaves. In an instant, Hisui's arm pulls away from my arm with incredible momentum. With a whack, she slaps my hand away and leaps back. It's so sudden that that's the only thing that I can say. Hisui is expressionless, but she glares at me fiercely. Did I just do something wrong? I'm very sorry. She sounds very nervous. I am not used to being touched. Please forgive me. Hisui's shoulders are faintly trembling. I feel like I just did something really terrible. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize without thinking. I don't understand why myself. I just feel sorry for Hisui and I lower my head. Hisui says nothing. I get the feeling her stare is calm again. You have nothing to apologize for, Shiki-sama. I am the one to blame. No, well, maybe, but I scratch my head. Hisui stares at me, pausing only to blink for a second. What is it that you wanted to ask me, Shiki-sama? That's right. I stopped her because I wanted to ask her something. Oh, I wanted to ask about Akiha. Doesn't she go to a boarding school? That was only during middle school, Shiki-sama. From this year onwards, Akiha has special permission to attend school from home. You mean she goes to school from here? Yes, but it isn't uncommon for her to come home before dusk like today. Akiha-sama has practice up until dinner, so she is always home before 7. Practice? Practice what? Today is Thursday, so she would have had violin practice. Usually, she is able to return before dinner on weekdays, so if you have anything to say to Akiha-sama, please let Ne-san know after dinner. Hisui bows to say goodbye and leaves the room. Violin practice. What on earth is that? It's probably violin practice. It's pretty self-explanatory. She's not some upper-class lady or anything, so why should she have to bother his... Oh wait. She is an upper-class lady. Yes. Come to think of it, my sister Tono Akiha is a natural-born upper-class lady. In my memories, she was always the obedient, ever-uneasy sister who'd always follow me around. As a child, Akiha was always quiet, never having even the courage to express her own desires. She was a frail girl who would always live in fear of a scolding from our father. Yeah, people really do change after 8 years. After 8 years, I've become the me I am now. Akiha has become the Akiha of right now, too. 8 years is a long time. It's half of our lives up until now. I was absent from this mansion during the vital period where a child becomes an adult. I'm sorry, Akiha. I think things would have been better if I had been with her during those 8 years. I unconsciously mumble an apology. Left by myself, I lie on my bed. This house from 8 years ago, my blood relative from 8 years ago. It feels a little like they belong to someone else. Sigh. I wonder what's going to happen now. Grumbling to no one in particular, I fall asleep. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we're going to end off for today. What is Shuki waking up about? Does he have a nice, pleasant evening, or is it filled with mischief and nightmares? Will we meet our next, or the final girl and the protagonist of this route? Probably not, but maybe. Find out next time. I hope to see you there.